Preheating the processor above the room temperature and applying thermal compound is a process we follow when installing the CPU cooler. We aim for a sweet spot in between 50 to 60 degrees. Hello and welcome to Too Far Tech. This is the part 2 video we call the tear down and rebuild of the T500. I hope you have already watched the first video. If not, please do watch the first video because this is the continuation of a 5-part video wherein we come with the final product we call the T500, which is a very basic gaming and day-to-day use computer. So please do watch the first video. I'm going to link the video up here so you can watch it before you watch this one, so you understand the build reason why we are doing certain things and what could be the final product. And now getting into the detail of this video, we call it the tear down and rebuild because in this video we're going to show how we're going to dismantle this PC, how take it part by part out, every part being removed, every part open, and then we are going to have a close look at these parts to understand how much is the wear, tear, damages, and if there is any burn mark, burn smell. So this would help me to understand if these components are really good to go back into the PC or should I look for a replacement, because I have more than 25 years of experience with PC hardware. A certain look, a certain feel, an intuition will tell me if these components are good or if they are, they're not reliable enough. After this, once they are cleared, I would go with a cleaning process and you would see that also coming up. After the cleaning process, the thorough cleaning process, we apply something called the Too Far Tech tweaks. Now you see this PC was a basic PC from HP. Now HP has cut corners to ensure the cost is kept low. Now we want to be sure that this performs as we expect for a long time, so we're going to apply these tweaks. Now the extra components are the parts like the graphics card, other details like the SSD that's going to go into this PC, which was not part of the factory. And then we put all of these things part by part back. We do the proper cabling, we arrange everything so that it's simple to pull it back if has to go through another repair or something has to be done. We are not making it all the more complicated. And then we are trying to turn the computer on and to see if we can reach the BIOS, and then we would try to install Windows 10. And if that is happening, if the Windows 10 installation is starting, that means this PC is kind of at least basically reliable as a normal PC. So this is the overall things that you would see in this video, and let's watch and I will explain as we go what are the stuff, and I try to keep the video as short as possible so that we don't waste much time in this one. I would also see if we can make a bigger video to show what happens behind the scene, the entire process at a separate video after we complete all the 5 videos, because it's going to take a long time to put that together. So do watch this video to understand how we are building it, and let's proceed with the details and I will explain how things are. So by explaining the video, I have crossed through a lot of subject that has happened in the video, and right now we are going at 3 times the speed of the recording to cover up as much as possible within the shortest time possible without having a 20 or 30 minutes video. Actually, the recording is more than 3 hours. I'm trying to make it all into an 8-minute video. So what we missed is something like not going to use the OEM memory module that was in the board, and then also the CMOS battery will be a new one, using the alcohol to wipe the parts that would be affected by the using alcohol. One of the most important thing that you might have noticed is sanding down the CPU spreader. This is one of the techniques that we use that you might not find with other people. I've already explained this in other videos, the reason why I'm doing it. And also we washed the CPU cooler under pressure water, so remove all the possible dust and bring it like factory new. And also we sand down the CPU heat heatsink similar to the processor heatsink. If you look closely, you will find that we are installing the thermal compound on that and then the heatsink onto a processor which was preheated using a heat gun, and then we check the temperature to see it's almost 60 degrees on the heat gun before pasting the thermal compound. Now we are installing the special heatsink on the north bridge, which is part of 2FAR-Tech method of providing extra cooling, and heatsink is pasted glued onto the surface. Now we are putting the CPU fan, and you will notice the fan air flows on the direction of the heatsink that was fitted onto the chipset, and then we would mount the memory module. We are going to fit all these things together and try, and as you can see, we entered the BIOS successfully, so the PC is working fine. We saw that everything is good. We plugged the hard drive in, put the Windows 10 USB boot, and now we are trying to ensure that we can boot into the USB. As you can see, the Windows 10 installation is in progress, and we are selecting the Windows 10 Pro 1909 version. And we're going to remove all the partitions from the hard drive and do a complete fresh install of the OS, and it takes a long time, so we are cutting the video short here, making sure only you see the critical parts and the Windows has booted. Now what we are doing is, with the system outside, we are checking the temperature to see if anything is not working as expected, if there is any anomaly, because once the system is installed and booted, everything should perform on a moderate temperature that we are already aware of. And now we are putting back the things together the way we just removed everything. The difference being, this time we have an extra hard drive and we are going to have a graphics card, so we need to make sure we can accommodate all this into the small chassis that we have. So the graphics card is a small graphics card with dual fan and no extra power supply for it, or the 6-pin power supply is not there. And now we managed to find a place to install the SSD in the OEM location with slight modification without much cutting or breaking apart the chassis, and it is sturdy. And now we are arranging the cable so the airflow is improved, and we had to disconnect the original cable ties and we had to reorganize the wires so it's clearly tucked off, and as you can see, none of the wires are sticking outside. So going back to the BIOS of the system, we ensure the basic settings are done to make sure the system has a very good performance. All the boot options are correct, and we have a fast boot option enabled. We check the thermal capabilities, whether the fans are all working, and we ensure everything is perfect, and we save and then we boot. We check how fast the boot is happening, 10 to 12 seconds to boot, and that's pretty much on what's happening with this PC. Next we need to install the drivers, and that is for the next video, and I believe we have kept the promise to show how we build this PC so far in this video. If you have any comments or doubts, please do post below and we would reply. And so far we have seen the tear down, inspection, cleaning, tweaks, extra components, build, BIOS and OS installation. Now next video would include the OS installation details, BIOS updates, boot test, power and thermal test, stability test, durability test, stress tests, and you will see the installation of the games. So do watch, a lot of exciting stuff is happening. As you can see in the video, we're going to push the PC to see what it can do and how well it performs. So don't miss the next video. Also watch the first video. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as we took the trouble of making it. It was a long process, but somehow we managed to squeeze all of this into very short video. So do wait and find out this next video that is coming up soon, and we would show you what all this PC is capable of. So subscribe, give us a like, and continue watching. Check out our other videos and enjoy. You have a wonderful day. Thank you.